Hey, it's Baja Nicole with another episode of Your LexPD. We are out here at the Roy H. Martis Canine Center, the new facility for the Lexington Police Department Canine Unit.
So we try to visit a lot of our specialized units. Yep. The Canine Unit is part of the Special Operations Bureau, and they do some fantastic work, and everybody wants to know about the dogs. So let's go in, have a talk with some of the handlers, and see how the Canine Unit operates.
Hey, we are here with Canine Supervisor Sergeant Rob Frazier and Canine Rhea. Thank you for joining us today.
Thank you for having me.
And we're going to talk a little bit about the Canine Unit here at the Lexington Police Department.
I think you've already made a friend.
I did.
You did. So, Sergeant Frazier, you have inherited quite a bit of history when you came to this unit. How long have you been out here?
4 years.
4 years. So, and Lexington was one of the very first canine units in the country in this particular region. Back in 1962, then it was a Chief E.C. Hale chartered the first canine unit. And that's when it was Lexington City Police Department. And he had sent an officer out to Missouri to receive weeks and weeks of training and came back and started the unit with about 6 officers, I think, at the time. They built the first facility in 64, second one in 68. How long have you been in this particular building?
This kennel was open in 2020.
Okay, and this is state of the art, probably a little bit different than where you came from.
We'd like to think so.
Okay, all right. So you've got all the dogs are housed here?
Yes.
Okay, all right. So we're going to spend some time today talking with a couple of your officers. Can you tell us a little bit about who they are and what they do?
Sure. I've got Officer Chaz Grider, who's our head trainer right now. He also can deploy in the street, and he operates a bomb canine, so he can also run events and that kind of stuff. I've also got Officer Pat Murray, who used to be a trainer here, but he is also an officer on the street and handles narcotics canine.
All right, we're looking forward to it.
We are here with Canine Officers Chaz Grider and Pat Murray. Thank you all for joining us today.
Thanks for having us.
Could you all tell us a little bit about how you came to be in the Canine Unit?
Sure. Yeah, I came in 2011 after I had been on the street for about 5 years, and I'm coming up on year 14. And on my second dog, who's had a good long career, and it's been great.
Yeah, I came to the police department in 2012. When I got here, I knew exactly what I wanted to do. It was canine. So I spent 4 years on patrol, went to canine, and then I've been here for, I don't know, probably 10 years now.
All right, so Sergeant mentioned how many dogs we have. So how do we use the dogs? What are the purposes, and what do we have? Patrol dogs? We have different types of dogs. What do we have?
Yeah, so our primary 3 things are going to be patrol dogs, narcotic dogs, and bomb dogs. Obviously, we use dogs because they smell better than us. So the main breeds that you're going to see is obviously your typical German Shepherd. That's what everybody thinks about for a police dog. We also have Belgian Malinois. We have a Dutch Shepherd. And then obviously you saw Rhea. We have lab floppy ears dogs sometimes for single-purpose use.
Okay.
What is the difference between the 3, the patrol, narcotics, and bomb?
So the patrol dogs, they're going to be used primarily whenever we need to find subjects who have committed crimes. Whether it's someone's broken into a building, they've committed a violent crime, and we need to track their odor and find them for the sake of us and the public. Your explosive dogs, I'm sure Chaz can go into it more. This is going to be for your big events to make sure that we don't have any explosives hidden. And then narcotics is primary use is going to be for vehicles that we suspect there's narcotics inside.
So I know we talked about the different types of dogs. Are they multi-purpose, or do they just, if that's a narcotics dog, that's just a narcotics dog?
Yeah, no, most of our dogs are dual purpose. I think we have 2 single purpose dogs. One was Rhea, who you spoke with earlier.
Yeah.
I spoke with her. She's an explosives dog. Okay. And that's her only job. We have another narcotics detection dog, and he's with our narcotics unit. He's only narcotics. All the other dogs are dual purpose, which means they'll do patrol, which is apprehension, finding people, finding evidence, and they're also either narcotics or explosives. My dog, Cato, is a dual purpose patrol and bomb dog. So he does both, and we're considered a regional asset. So we go outside the county. We may go to the Derby. Here this year we helped out with Derby, and anywhere they need us for explosives detection, we'll go when we're called.
Well, I think that's a good point, too, to talk about how we assist other agencies, because having some of the resources that Lexington has, even with other units as well, that smaller agencies that just don't have those capabilities, we can help out with that, and that's been very beneficial in a lot of different ways. So tell us a little bit about how we get the dogs, how do we select the dogs, how do we train the dogs, and then I guess we've got to select the officers too. So tell us a little bit about the process.
Super important processes. When we look for the dogs, we look for a dog that is environmentally sound. We need to make sure that they're comfortable in every environment, because it can be really weird out there in the world, right? And you're dealing with something with the mentality of a toddler. So you want them to be very environmentally sound so they don't get afraid of things. We look for dogs that have great noses. Pat mentioned their best feature for us is their nose. It helps us locate what we need to find, whether it's missing people, criminals, narcotics, explosives. So we always look to make sure that they have a really good hunt drive, and that they hunt, and that they have really good changes, and they can find things. First, it's just the ball, because they know what a ball is. It's easy to see. So we make sure they have a lot of ball drive, and that they hunt methodically. So they're always checking and looking and hopeful that they're going to discover something, because that makes the training take a lot better than if they didn't care.
Well, as far as like the training process, I know when we talked a little bit about the history of the unit, I know it was, at the time, it was Patrolman Kenny Watson had gone out to St. Louis and received weeks and weeks of training. He actually retired as assistant chief, but he was the first one that brought a lot of that back from another department. So I'm assuming that we have to train the officers and the dogs.
So we do. We have 2 in-house trainers as of now, myself and Officer Joey Lasardi. Joey has just stepped into that role. I've received training from a place called Tar Heel Canine in North Carolina, certified trainer there. So we train all the dogs in-house. So we'll go get these dogs green. They don't know their name. They don't know anything. We bring them back and we teach them everything there is to know about how to do their job here for this city. And that's it. It's pretty efficient. It can take a little longer, but sometimes you want a good product, right? You don't want a mass-produced product. So we pride ourselves on that here. We have excellent dogs and we have excellent handlers. When we go into the handler selection, we want to see a good cop first. Were they good on the street? Were they active? Did they get along with the community? Are they professional? Did they have a good head on their shoulders? And then we have an interview process by which they come down. They have an interview, a selection, and that's how we select our officers.
Awesome.
Well, you're obviously getting the right ones, because I noticed when we walked in out here, we noticed a lot of trophies and a lot of things that the unit has fared well over the years as far as competitions and things like that. So, and I know we depend on patrol.
Oh, heck yeah.
We depend on K9 a whole lot. As a matter of fact, just a few weeks ago, there was an abandoned building that we got an alarm at, and it was empty. We knew no one was in there, but K9 went in and they were able to clear it so quick. And I remember years ago when we talked to K9, they were talking about how quickly a K9 could clear a building looking for someone compared to multiple officers.
Oh, yeah. And the success rate of them finding suspects that the officers would have missed, spending way more time. The officers spend way more time to search, and their success of finding all the suspects is rarely 100%. The canines, it's a fraction of the time, and they have almost 100% success rate.
So for officers that want to put in for the K9 unit and get selected, how do you pair the officer with the K9, like personality-wise?
Right, and so typically what we'll do is we'll just say, hey, I know this dog, it works, it's a good dog, and we can just pair it with anyone. If we do see like a personality conflict, we might say this dog might need a senior handler, somebody that's going to be getting another dog, their second dog or third dog. And so we just kind of play it by ear and just see what works best. But we make sure that everyone gets the most out of the training and that we have a good team that goes on the street to make sure everybody's safe in the community and at the PD, like the dogs and the handler.
Outstanding. Well, you all do great work, and I know everybody on the police department appreciates you, and I'm sure the citizens of Lexington certainly appreciate you being there too. And everybody loves to see it. When they see the vehicle pull up, it says K9 on it. They just don't want to come over and pet you, right? Or pet the dog, because that's probably not the kind of dog you want to pet. Right? All right, well, thank you all very much for joining us this month and educating the community a little bit about our K9 unit and what a stellar unit it is and the good work that you do.
Thank you.
Thank you all.
Thank you.
So, Baj, it was so nice learning more about the K9 unit here at the Lexington Police Department and what they provide to us on patrol and just the community.
Outstanding resource and so much history behind it. And as you mentioned when we first started the episode, we are at the Roy H. Martis Canine Center. That's the name of the facility.
Yeah.
A lot of history on that. Very sad story. Officer Martis, he was a 13-year veteran with the Lexington Police Department, and the officers earlier had talked about how we help other agencies. And Martis and his bloodhound, he had a bloodhound at the time, her name was Amanda. She was actually pregnant. And they were actually searching and assisting with a manhunt for a suspect that had escaped jail and was also a murder suspect. And they actually located the suspect, and unfortunately they were struck by gunfire during the event in Mercer County, and that was on August 23rd, 1985. And it was a very sad day in the history of the Lexington Police Department, but his legacy carries on, and now the building is named after him, and every officer that's ever worked for K9 certainly is very aware of his contributions and what he did to the unit.
And there's also a street named after
There
him
is.
where the old facility before this one was built.
Yeah.
So join us next month for another episode of Your LexPD as we continue to explore specialized units here with the Lexington Police Department.
Your LexPD.